What is going on, everybody? Today is a momentous day, or rather a momentous time period. I am finally getting back into something that I've wanted to do for a while now, and that is the PvP scene for Mega Man Battle Network 6. I was introduced to this through a friend who then introduced me to a channel called N1GP. The great people over there have been so helpful and so kind enough to provide all of the information needed to get started, so that is very wonderful, especially for someone like me. They also hold tournaments every week and they're always so much fun to watch. It gets so epic and so intense, so suspenseful. Never would I have thought that after all of these years, Mega Man Battle Network would still be getting so much love poured into it today, and that just makes me feel so good inside. I love the fact that that is the case right now, to be honest. It's so awesome. But anyways, without further ado, let it begin. Ho-ho! Let it begin, as they said. I pressed B instead of A. Alright, so what does one do to get started with the scene, with the Battle Network scene? Okay, so there have been a few things that I've jotted down because I need all the help I can get to get through something like this. Like, look at me. Like, look, I mean, I look like I need help, don't I? Anyways, so what I really need to do first is study. Study is good, and I wasn't good at that in school, but this is the time for it. How you doing, Chad? Is that what they call you, Chad? Anyways, I have to study, and the good thing about that is that there's so much information available. N1GP has been so helpful, like I mentioned before. I have a lot of information at my fingertips. I have the information, they have the links for them. I can go to those links and gather such information and try to apply it in my own way. Another way in which I can start is by actually looking at the tournaments, which I have been doing. I've learned a little bit from that already. It's been wonderful. It's been so fun. Like I said, it's so suspenseful to watch, especially with some of the commentators there. They make it so much, like, the hype is just, okay, anyways, I'm getting off track. But anyways, the tournaments are so helpful because they have a breakdown at the very beginning of each match talking about a person's setup, the battle chips that they use, the Navi customizer, the things that they have installed on there, and they talk about builds and stuff like that. And of course, that's not necessarily a new term for me, but it is new in the sense of being applied to something. I have never really done a build. I've just done things that I like. Mega Man Battle Network has always been something like that for me, and I mean, that's fine. I want to continue using things that I like just because I like them, and maybe just implement some things that I've seen. So some things that they are so seasoned over there. Whenever the people that participate in the tournaments, they are so seasoned. They think about so many different things, like whether a person has used their life aura, and that's like apparently something that is just like essential. Like, don't go without that. They already assume that a person is gonna have life aura. And what else? They also think about whether or not they use their giga chips. So they're baiting each other a lot of the time into using certain things, and not just giga chips, but a lot of things in general. And I think that'll come with experience and time, which would be cool. And I just can't wait till I get to that point. But of course, I'm starting off very fresh. I started this months ago. I played a few matches with people. I got my butt kicked. I got close to beating a person 2 times. I don't know if it was the same person or not, but it was good and it was fun. I was like still so happy even after I lost because I felt like I learned a lot. And so after that, And that's, I guess, what my next point is that I will get experience from getting bodied. So just participating in matches is going to help me a whole lot. It's going to help me tremendously. So that is something I need to keep in mind, that I will get better after experience, after getting bodied experience has been accumulated. But anyways, the next thing I need to bring out, at least this is more for myself, is that this is not going to be pretty. Just like the last thing I mentioned implied, I will be getting bodied a lot, so it's not going to look pretty, but it's going to still be a fun journey along the way. I'm very convinced of that. And the reason for that is, like I mentioned, is because most of the people that I'll be participating against, or at least fighting against, training against, are gonna be seasoned people and players. So it's definitely gonna take some time. The skill curve needs to get there and be developed and actually curve. And that's just pretty much what I've noticed. I'm pretty sure I'm probably forgetting something, but that's fine. But ultimately, my plan is to study, like I mentioned before. I still want to use what I like and use that experience from getting bodied to improve. That's pretty much what the whole breakdown is. I mentioned before that I started a little bit ago at some point, like a few months ago, and I made 2 folders of things that I like. This one I like a lot. I use this the arrows and the risky honey because they're actually really useful for whenever they don't flinch an enemy, so someone can easily get countered, especially if they feel like they're not getting hit. The air hockeys I've always loved. The machine guns turned out to be very useful. Moonblade I have in there just because I do like it, and I wanted some swords for one of the crosses that I use also. Gregor is the one that I will be playing with. Gregor is boss, beast, and best. So, unfortunately though, for real, Falzar apparently is considered better in PvP matches, but one should not underestimate Gregor at all, because Gregor has a lot of output from what I understand as far as damage wise. Gregor can do a lot of output. So, more of what I was thinking with this is that I have these double shots, triple shots, and I have Anubis as my Giga card. What my plan usually will be is to try, at least with this folder, is to get in as close as possible at the very end and place the Anubis at the very end panel where they can't reach it, at least without going to extreme measures. I feel like there's a way to still do it in that case. But yeah, besides that, everything else is basic, and my other Giga card is base, because base, I do like base. I have the life aura because I mentioned before that it seems like it's a necessity at some point. It's a good trump card when all of one's big hitters are gone. And I think one of the weaknesses that I've had with my deck, or sorry, I said deck, people have been playing too much Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't have a lot of cards that actually deal a lot of damage. I realize that. I don't think any of these cards do over 200 damage. So like, I am definitely in trouble when it comes to actually getting rid of someone else's life aura. But I think I want to keep it this way, but somehow, let me see, to get Fan, is Fan the one that, that blows away? It isn't an air icon. Would it be an air icon? I wonder. I don't think so. Maybe. Well, it's not sorted by element. Duh. Let me go ahead and find it here. Yeah. So fan or wind. I need to make sure of that. But I think it's fan. I think fan will blow a person's shield away. So that's always nice to know. And I think I'm gonna switch that in for something here, probably the little snake, because the snake hasn't been helping me. I tried a few times and I haven't gotten to work. I just did it because I knew I was gonna have a lot of holes in the ground. I put these here because I want to use, what is our electricity cross? I forget what its name is or what the cross is called, but I am a thunder lover, and previous games have shown that as far as my experience with Battle Network. But I like these because it can be easy to paralyze someone with this. With these, they're neutral cards. I think you can charge up neutral cards with him, and that can work out. But it can also help me gain leverage if they don't have float shoes or air shoes or whatever. Anyways, that was that folder. This folder. Super Vulcan. I love the Vulcan. I love the spreaders. Thunder. Doll Thunder, Long Blade, just because I like the swords. More triples, and this one does actually have fan, because I forgot exactly why I added this. I think, oh man, I did forget. That's what happens when you spend a long time away from this, but a little bit has changed. I definitely could revise a lot of this, because this isn't a super bulky folder either. None of these cards do more than 100. I said cards, they're chips. Gosh darn you, Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Masters, or whatever you're called, man. Good grief. But anyways, I have fan though, so that's good. But I want to revise both of these folders, and that'll be really cool to do. It'll be really awesome. So, another thing I'd like to point out about this is what I tried to do, because I like Thunder. Thunder is almost like a bait slash get away from me or kind of do what I want you to do kind of thing. Usually I'll place this at the top or the bottom of the grid, and just out of habit, most people will move to the other side. So if I want to catch them in a specific lane, I shall use Thunder, because most of the time they do what I want them to. However, I still just need experience, and I want to still try this out because it's like I haven't been too successful, but it has given me the outcome that I want. But I need more experience. That's all that it is. So, all right, and that's pretty much it. I'm going to get into a match or so here in a little bit. However, like I said, I need to revise both of these. I need to take a look at the study guides and stuff like that. So it'll be a little bit, but the good thing is that I can just leave myself open for a match until I get a match. So that's cool. I guess the last thing that I need to bring out is that I'm not necessarily going to be entering any tournaments until I feel comfortable enough to go into a tournament. Not that I am embarrassed to get bodied on live, but I want to give a good match. I want to give a good match that everyone can look at and say, even though I lost and I still have the leagues to go, that it was entertaining and suspenseful. Goodness, getting tripped up on my words, but that's what I I'm not really afraid at all about getting bodied live, at least for everyone to see. And also, I don't think it's actually live. I think we pre-record them. They play all of the matches set in the tourney on that day, because I don't think there's a really good way to do it live at this point. But anyways, that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to continue getting matchups, getting help, studying, learning from that experience, and then when I feel like I can give a decent match to someone in the tournament, that is when I'll enter the tournament. So this is pretty much just the road to that tournament, the path, the journey, the experience. That's what all of this is going to be about. I'm actually truly excited to get into this. So let's actually go ahead and try to find a match here in a second after I revise my folder, and let's start on the road to the tourney.